Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sun Talks, a podcast by ISSC. Today, we're joined by two student workers of ISSC, Kanav Gupta and Edward Lee. Kanav works with the first year experience team, and Edward works with these client services at ISSC. Hi, guys. Welcome to the
Hello.
Yeah,
podcast.
thank you for inviting
Thank
us.
you for having us.
So, you guys are students at ASU. You have been here for a while. How has your experience been coming to the US? You guys are international. You came from a different culture. So, how was entering the US? What was your experience like? How was it?
Kanav, you want to start?
Yeah, I'll go first. So yeah, obviously coming from a different country and then to pursue your higher education, it's obviously a little different from what you're used to back home. The culture, the way you're taught things, the people around you, it all changes suddenly. And but fortunately right now, up till now, it's been a very smooth ride. I have had amazing friends, amazing colleagues, and everything has been very good. There were some cultural shocks when I first came here, and the first thing that really hit me was I didn't get why people here had early dinners. So the first day that I landed here, I landed at around 3 p.m. and I was not very hungry at that time. So I think it was then 9 or 10 maybe. I went out. I thought I'll have a quick dinner, but as I went out, every single thing was closed. So that was the first thing that I learned when I came here. That yeah, you have to stick to a schedule. Everyone's really punctual here.
Yeah, I mean, here in India, we eat like
We
dinner
eat
at like
food
9,
like at 10,
9, 10
10,
exactly.
same
There's no
with
fixed time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Whenever you're hungry, you just go for
You
it.
just go eat, and it's not like we're going to eat at like 6 p.m.
Yeah,
That's our tea time. That's when we have
That's
our
Yeah.
tea
snacks.
time. That's snacks, evening snacks.
All right. So I came into the US pretty nervous.
Mhm.
Yeah, like even though like it was like my first time here in around like 2018, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I came here for a summer school program at UCLA. And then like while entering the border, like they asked me a lot of like questions, and then like I clicked the wrong one. I was clicking like that. I was like, I thought like, okay, have you have any like contact with any animals or something? I thought animals like, oh yeah, dogs, pets or something like, but they meant like cattle.
Yeah, like
Yeah. And then like I was just pulled aside, and like I was just sat in this little room, and this like
they're questioning you. They're like,
yeah, this like Hispanic guy was just like interrogating me, and like I couldn't really understand like kind of his English at the really start.
Mhm.
Yeah, because like it was like there was
I think the accent might have
Yeah.
thrown like we're all new to this, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I
I
think
like I
that's
don't
it,
think
yeah.
I've seen any like Hispanic people in China. There's like really less. So like it was like my first time kind of coming in contact. Like I've always heard about like Mexican food. Like we have like Taco Bell, but like this is like my first time.
Okay, I will say right
Yeah.
now, Taco Bell is good,
Mhm.
but I wouldn't call it authentic.
Okay.
Yeah.
In China, like there's a big one of my culture shock about Taco Bell is that like the reputation of Taco Bell here is pretty bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true
No,
for India too.
In China, it was like a bar, you know, like
Oh.
it was like you go in, you have like your tacos and stuff, like everything was like clean,
Mhm.
and like at like the side of it, like you have like a bar, like when they make like martinis and
Mhm.
stuff. I was like, dang, that's like fancy, you know.
I mean, I've never been to Taco Bell in India actually,
I've been to Taco
but
Bell.
I've
It's pretty
heard
good.
it's fancy. I
In
always felt
India-
it was too fancy for me.
I feel like it's kind of similar to how it is here,
Oh,
but
really?
it's like the food options and everything is pretty diverse when
Mhm,
it comes
mhm.
to that.
So, other than Taco Bell,
Yeah.
and then entering the US after entering, so like after you get out of the airport and
Mhm.
you came here, what was the first like thing that you noticed that was like different?
I would say like the landscape.
The landscape?
Cause I came from Shanghai, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And then even in like LA,
Mhm.
where I thought was like it's gonna be like crowded,
Mhm.
and like it wasn't as crowded as I thought.
Oh.
Cause like in Shanghai, like every kind of like house or apartment is at least like 10 floors high.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and
Like,
then
so you have like a nice view of the city then.
yeah, like you have like a whole view of the city,
Ooh.
and like no, like it's hard. Like I live on like the 10th, 11th floor,
Mhm.
and then like I can't really see anything. But like if you're on like there's 30s, like the
Oh,
30th floor.
So like
then
New
you can
York
see.
sort of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like New York, but I'd say like it's just kind of like bigger. But like when I went to like LA, I was expecting like, oh yeah, high towers and stuff. I was like, oh, I just saw a lot of land.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think if you felt like that about LA, then just imagine Arizona.
yeah. I came to Arizona. I was like, what is there?
Yeah, I would like to add on that. I'm from India, and from India, you're used to living in like compressed places.
Mhm.
Like there's not a lot of free space,
Mhm.
free land. But when I came here, and there was like big masses of land just with grass on
free
them and just
land,
free
yeah.
land.
Yeah.
And then there's like highways going through them. And yeah, that was a very different experience because
Mm-hmm.
my only exposure to the United States has been through
Through
movies
movies.
and TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first initially came here, I thought I was like a part of a movie or something because that was my only exposure
Yeah.
to the United States.
For me, it was actually the speed of the cars
Uh-huh.
because first of all we use kilometers, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But then they use like it's miles and they're going like 65, 80 miles per hour, and I'm like it's just zoom, like they're going so fast. That's the first thing I noticed. But yeah, it was a weird but fun experience, just going fast like that.
Yeah.
So how about coming to ASU? Like, how was it? How was your experience? I know that we have a lot of welcome events, right? So, did you feel overwhelmed or did you feel underwhelmed? How was it for you guys?
So
Mm.
personally, I think attended all of the welcome events,
Mhm.
and
Mm.
all of them were really fun. I think it's the perfect amount. Not I was not overwhelmed at any point,
Mhm.
especially when you have people around you. It was a great way to meet people first of all.
Mm.
So I met some of my good friends there. So those my the first.
So you
people
have
I
been friends with
interacted
them since you came to
since
ASU.
I came to
That's
ASU.
nice. That's
Ooh.
nice. I was the complete opposite. Like I didn't go to any of them. Yeah. Like okay, because I didn't get like because I wasn't like really connected to the ISSC
Mhm.
back then. Like it was until like I started working here, then like I realized that oh yeah, they send out emails and stuff, right? And then because at the start, like as kind of like half a domestic student, like I came over and like they didn't really tell us anything about like a welcome kind of carnival or something that like CIS we kind of do, but like for domestic students there were not a lot of welcome events, so like I kind of got really lost in like my first kind of month coming to ASU. Like I didn't know anyone, and it was hard navigating around campus as
I
well.
mean, ASU has so many resources. It's just
Exactly.
the navigation
It's
of
true.
those resources that's where
Yeah.
the trick. Like you have to find out how to do it.
Yeah, if you
Yes.
figure that out,
Yeah,
I
that
think
if- yeah,
your
yeah.
experience at ASU would be
Yeah, that
amazing.
would be awesome because
Yeah.
like they provide a lot. It's just like a lot of them you can't see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about this before we started recording, but like, kind of, we both, when we came, like, we did all of our research back in
Oh,
India. I think.
everything.
Like,
Oh,
everything.
Everything there was to know about coming to a foreign country, coming to
Yeah,
the United States,
everything.
coming to ASU.
I was
I
in touch with
just-
ISSC before I even came here.
Wow. Wow.
That's
And even
awesome.
with ISA, like the Indian Students Association, everything, like I think we were well prepared to come in,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
that's definitely not the case for
Uh-huh.
everyone,
Yeah.
right? So
For me, coming in was like
you came in like just blind.
I landed in like Phoenix Sky Harbor. Like I came from San Francisco, and then because I went to visit like family up there, and then I came over. I had like zero contacts in
Oh,
my
wow.
phone. Yeah, and like it was hard even to like kind of book a cab or like use a Lyft over because like
Did you know that you can actually book a cab by paying cash or card in the airport? So
I did not know that.
So
I didn't know that
once
either.
once you get out of the airport, there's like a service, not a service road, but like a road where like family members can pick you up. But if you cross that, that's where you get on the lift, taxis, and all that, right? So
Uh-huh.
like there's a second column.
Uh-huh.
So in over there in the far end, I don't know which side, they have this thing called as I think yellow taxi or something like that. Like there's a
Oh yeah,
company.
yeah. I saw
So
that.
you go then like, hey, I want to go here, and then they'll take you. It's like a yellow cab that you get in New York where you pay the driver directly.
Oh,
Mhm.
So you can either pay by cash or card. So that's that. I didn't know that until this semester actually.
Really?
Yeah. So
I didn't.
we did.
Yeah,
we were,
until now.
so we were doing volunteering for helping students coming in, right?
Mm.
So one of the students was like, "Hey, I don't have this lift coupon. I don't have anything. How can I go?" So then we were trying to figure it out because we didn't know either.
Yeah.
And then I asked someone, and they were like, "Yeah, you can just take a cab from
the airport.
from the airport." I was shocked. Like that was a fun. Like that's a good thing to know.
Yeah. But like nobody really knows about it.
Yeah, because
that's the problem.
now everyone has a phone. Everyone can just book an Uber.
Yeah.
Because Uber's everywhere. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think Lyft for short, like within Tempe, is the most student friendly.
Yeah, it's,
I would say.
I use it a lot.
Yeah.
I'd say, and it's very convenient too.
It's convenient, exactly.
Yeah, wherever
true,
you want to
true.
go, just take a lift. I would.
Yeah.
It's really convenient.
Yeah.
But also the buses are really good. I
The
would say.
the public transport
Yeah.
system. Yeah.
Yeah,
Around
yeah.
ASU especially.
Around
yeah,
ASU
I
it's
don't
pretty
use
good.
anything else around ASU to travel.
Just the
Yeah.
Orbit buses.
Just the Orbit
Yeah.
or maybe like the streetcar.
Yeah. The streetcar is
Oh,
good.
actually, I don't use the street card as much, but the numbered buses, you know, the ones that you have
Oh,
to
the-
pay like
Yeah.
$2 or
Yeah.
something.
$66. Yeah.
Yeah, I once took that all the way to Glendale. So
Oh,
like, it was
my
like
God.
2 hours, but it was the most fun I had. It was fun.
Okay.
And I didn't even
Nice.
have to pay. Like the guy was just like, yeah, get in.
I have a pretty different experience with it because like I used to work at like this salad bar
Mhm.
in Tempe Marketplace, and then like I had to take the car
So
from
before
campus.
before we go forward, you
Yeah.
work in Tempe Marketplace because you're
I am a citizen. Yes,
Okay,
I am a
yes.
citizen,
So
guys.
international
Yeah, I
students
am a citizen.
cannot.
Well, you guys
international
cannot
students
work
cannot
off
work
of
off
campus.
campus.
Yes.
Make that very clear.
Yeah, I've got to make that very
Disclaimer.
clear. Yeah.
Don't try to be
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah, don't no working off campus.
Yes.
Yeah, or just contact me from ISSC. Call me. I'm probably gonna be the one picking up. Yeah, but just going off from that point, like I had to go there at like 7 to kind of cut vegetables for like the salad bar, and then I had to wake up at 5 because
Oh,
like
wow.
like normally the streetcars are pretty on time,
Mhm.
but like during like those early kind of ones, they're sometimes like either late or like early for like half an hour. Yeah, so like I had to like really make sure that
Yeah.
this time is kind of good.
But
Yeah.
I mean, for me, timing was never an issue. It was
Really?
usually me. It was usually me who was late. But no,
No,
it
that's
wasn't-
that's one thing that I've managed to do since I've come here.
I think
So
time management.
time management
yeah.
has been really crucial.
That actually
Yes.
comes up to my next point. Like, so you guys are here. You're living in a new housing. Like,
Mhm.
did you guys both live on dorms when you came here, or how was it for you?
I did.
Yeah,
I did
I
my
did
first
too.
year.
I actually
Yeah.
never lived on the dorms. Actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never lived. I
Mhm.
always lived off campus.
Really?
Yeah, but how was it? How was your experience for you guys? Like, especially for like, you're coming in new. You used to live with your family, and now you're living alone.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
even if it's the dorms, you have a good environment. But how was it? How was your
Okay,
experience?
Okay.
I mean, honestly, if given the option, I would go back to living in the dorms.
Really?
I really liked it there.
Oh,
Because it was very convenient. Because it was closer to all my classes,
Mhm.
and I did not have to worry about public transport or figuring out how I would
Mm.
get to and from.
Mhm.
Which
my
dorm
classes.
did you live in?
I lived in Tucker House.
Oh, Tucker
That's
House.
usually the
Tucker
one
House.
for all engineering.
Engineering,
yeah.
students,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I lived in Hayden Hall. So
Oh,
like
okay.
yeah, like so basically like there's too many people in Hassie, so like they moved like a lot of business students to like Hayden Hall. Yeah, I really like kind of like the experience like being around campus. It's kind of like that energy you don't really have when you move into an apartment.
Apartment, yeah.
Yeah.
Like an off-campus apartment.
Because apartments are more low key, right? It's
Yeah,
all, like it's
yeah,
not.
like not everyone's on like the same page.
Yeah,
but like
mhm.
kind of like in the dorms, you kind of knew your neighbors.
Everyone's- yeah,
you
everyone's
just-
like-
you're surrounded
everyone's
by
chill.
students. Like,
Yeah.
it's-
Yeah. Like we were like on the first day, like me and like a few other friends, like we just kind of grouped together and like we knocked on every single person's like door and we're like, hey,
So, kind of, you lived in Tucker House. Edward, how about you? Like, did you also stay in Tucker House?
no, I'm a business student, so
Mhm.
like I was in Hayden Hall.
How was
Yeah.
Hayden?
Hayden Hall is like it's not the I'd say it's not the best dorm, but I had the best experience. I would
Mhm.
say like I had to experience a lot of like American culture things, and then like I met a lot of like domestic friends.
So, do you guys
Yeah.
still stay on campus, or did you move off campus?
No,
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 I
yeah,
don't,
I
no.
moved off. Yeah,
I moved off
Yeah.
campus too.
So, how is transportation? I think we briefly discussed about this, but like, how has it been for you guys?
Yeah, yeah.
Traveling from your residence to ASU.
Mhm.
So I don't have a car
Mm-hmm.
and a driver's license. So for me, it's nice to have public transportation, which is this efficient. So
Mm-hmm.
I luckily live close to campus. So for me, it's usually like a 5-minute train ride or maybe like a 10 to 15-minute walk to campus.
Mhm.
So that's really convenient.
10-minute
Mm.
walk. I would have become so much thinner if I. I live 2 miles away, but.
Oh god. Yeah, I'm a little far from campus, so like I scooter. Like it's not to the point that I have to kind of like drive to campus because like you also have to pay parking and like it's a little hard kind of finding around your way over here, and like there's a lot of students because ASU is very big.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I decided to like kind of just get a scooter and like
Yeah.
yeah, just scooter around. That's a lot like.
But I would say
easier.
I've heard stories about how dangerous, like keeping scooters safe is really hard here.
yes,
Because I think we had a meeting about this a while ago, and then we were told that the number one like crime activity that we see is just scooter and bike theft.
But I
Oh,
feel
yes.
like that's up to you. You have to be careful.
You have to be careful.
No matter
Yeah.
where you go, you have to be
Yeah.
careful.
I think the U-lock is the most helpful thing. Just get a fancy U-lock,
U-lock,
with
yeah,
that just cannot.
yeah.
Spend a little more and then you'll be able to
Yeah.
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 I actually had someone who had like they recently bought a $300 like electric bike, had it for one day, next day got stolen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because like I know like my friend that has like those rubber kind of
Mhm.
like spinning locks that like that elongates.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They cut them.
They
People
can- yeah,
cut
you can
them.
easily
Yeah,
cut
it's
them, yeah.
easily cut, and like his.
Don't
bike
ask
was
how I know,
stolen.
but yes. No, I didn't steal.
Yeah,
Wait.
that was tough.
Yeah, but I think, do you think car is needed?
That I
From
think
your
honestly,
Yeah.
it's a personal choice. If you
Yeah.
feel like you need a car,
But it's
go
not
for it, obviously.
necessary.
It's not necessary.
It's not
Obviously,
like-
it's not necessary.
Yeah,
Mm.
you
There's
can, you have,
plenty
yeah.
of public transport for
Yes.
you to go
True.
anywhere, almost anywhere.
Yeah, and what? So, what else? Like, what do you guys do in your free time? Like, other than coming to classes, what else do you guys do for fun?
Mm. I'm pretty involved, like either in sports or like in some club activities. Like I go to like volleyball trainings. I used to play volleyball in high school. Yeah, so like
wow.
I go to play like the club. I went to the club tryouts. People here are massive. Like, don't get me wrong, they're like scary but like awesome at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like when they spike, I was like, how did they do that? yeah. So I didn't end up on the club's team, but like there's still like kind of like intramurals and like other resources that ASU provides. Like not only for like the top tier leagues, but also for like newbies, like
People who just wanna have
newcomers.
fun.
Yeah, people just that they just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sports program here, like especially at the FCFC, is pretty developed.
I know it's amazing. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also like I'm also like a part of CIS, so the Coalition of
Coalition.
International Students. So like we basically create like socials for international students, and like we advocate like events for them, and also created one of like the biggest international event for like International Night for 2023.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Mm.
That's nice. That's nice. So, yeah. So, what he said about sports. Yeah. So ASU has a lot of different sports organizations. So even if you're a beginner or if you're an expert in whatever sport you play, ASU has something for you. And I am also involved in sports a lot. I'm part of the ISST, obviously, and I'm also part of the Explorers Club. So the Explorers Club is a club which is specifically designed for first year students. So the first year students are the ones that have the most difficulty to navigate life
Yeah, obviously.
at ASU.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of a resource for them to make it easier for them to get about their daily lives, make use of all the resources at ASU, which I feel is like the most important thing for you to have a successful 4 years or however long your degree is at ASU.
Speaking of Explorers, I used to be part of Explorers. And when we were there, so like I've already told this story in this podcast before, but we did a Thanksgiving event, and I think we had like a huge number of people come in, and every first year student who came in that day were like, I didn't know what Thanksgiving was.
Yeah.
Attending this event was amazing. I think we have an event happening
We do.
today.
Yes, we do.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there is an event happening today where they
At the
explore
SDFC.
SDFC.
Yeah.
So it's like we're combining the two topics we're talking right now.
I
There's an
see.
event
Most of
happening.
the students
Yeah.
don't even know what the SDFC
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
We have a huge gym and sports facility that
Yeah.
it's for their use.
I mean,
whenever they want
obviously,
to.
I go to the gym every day.
yeah. I like
Yeah.
speaking about the gym. Like another thing that I really miss is like utilizing like SDFC's gym. Like we have like
true.
4 different rooms, like
Yeah.
2 different floors, and like I look at my gym in my like small apartment. It's like mini. I don't even have like
agree.
enough stuff. Yeah.
Once I bought my friend to my apartment. They were planning to move into that apartment as well. And then they saw the gym like, this is sad. After going to SDFC, seeing that they have 3 gyms and everything, your apartments, and I was just like, dude, I'm paying rent here. Please don't say this to me. Like, why you got to do me dirty like that? Like I'm just like, bro.
Yeah, like I just felt that you don't need like a gym membership like once you're like on campus.
Yeah, on campus,
once you're
yeah.
like a
Yeah.
student, you have access to the SDFC. Why do you need a gym membership?
It's really,
Right?
Yeah, I
really
think-
convenient.
Yeah, but SDFC is like, yeah. I mean, I love. Do any of you watch football, American football, by any chance?
I don't.
I love American.
I watch a
football.
little, but yeah. go
Yeah,
on.
it's my favorite. And then I've
I
been
think,
trying to
I think you
find.
mean soccer.
No, American football.
No, I think you
That's
mean
a-
soccer.
No, not soccer. We know some people might get mad if it's soccer.
Yes.
but yeah, I mean, I'm actually not a soccer fan as much as I'm a football fan.
Oh,
So when I came here, I tried to create a club. And like, have you guys created a club before here? Do you know how the process is?
Yes, I have like friends creating like clubs.
You have to create your own constitution. You have to find
everything,
advisors.
yeah.
It's like it's a
It's
very
elaborate.
process, but it's good. It's good
good,
experience
yeah.
actually, because you understand, like, even when you get out of ASU and you like go and like work,
Yeah.
you'll know how to do things, right?
Yes,
So,
Some
yes,
experience. It's good. It's a good experience for you.
so I mean, along with these clubs and whatever you do in your free time, like playing tennis or soccer or volleyball, how do you manage being a full-time student with 12 credits and above because we're all undergrads here. Along with that, and then also maintaining a job and a personal life. How do you guys do it? Do you have any secrets? How do you do it? Any tips?
I kind of I struggled when in my first semester. Like sometimes I like overstudy. Like at the really start.
Cannot
like,
relate, by the way.
I don't know what you mean by
no, like I actually do. Like I would stay like during finals week. I would stay up to like in Noble up to like 5, and then like
Studying?
Yeah, studying. Like and then take Dunkin' Donuts.
I don't have
Yeah,
that
I was
patience.
stressing out about like studies. But yeah, after like the first semester, I just realized that it was actually not as hard as I thought, because like I thought it was okay, it's college, it's like it's not high school anymore,
Yeah.
right? But like, and next semester I just kind of developed the habit of making a to-do list. Like so I have like a to-do list. Like every night I would check my to-do list, make sure that everything is done, and then I'll set up the to-do list for tomorrow, right? And then tomorrow, like morning, I check the same thing. I assign times, and then just make sure that, oh yeah, I'm working from this block to this block. So like, I have like 3 hours in between, so I can do homework or I can do like kind of whatever I want. And
So organization,
Yeah.
like just having a good
good organization.
like a time sheet of like what you want to do,
Yes.
and like like do you stick to it like strictly, or is it like it's flexible? How-
It's definitely flexible, I would say. Like
so you don't like, you're not like, oh god, I'm running late to something, like
Yeah,
I have to be
won't be
Noble by
like-
3 o'clock
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
It's
2:30, I've not left
2:30.
yet. Like you're not
No.
stressing out about
Yeah,
that.
I'm not like too stressed out about it. Like sometimes, like as college students, you have to go late nights, right? Like so, yeah. Sometimes, like if I get a little lazy, I was like, oh, yeah, I want to go grab some boba with my friends, you know. So like I was like, okay, I'm supposed to do homework here, but I'm gonna shift it to later tonight. Yeah, like so you also be like flexible. With it.
Speaking of boba, I just like, did you find good restaurants of like food that you enjoy? Like I'm from India. I love Indian food. So I have been I'm on a quest to find good Indian restaurants here. So have you guys found anything in Tempe that's like accessible to students? And which would you would recommend to try out?
Indian food.
Anything
anything.
that you like, that's like international cuisine.
Okay.
There's some good restaurants here.
Yeah.
I would not lie. There's some pretty decent restaurants, and you can find different cuisines around you.
Yeah.
You know, one of my my favorite restaurants is actually there's a boba place on Broadway and McClintock. I don't know if you have been there. I forgot the name, but it's my favorite go-to place. So if I have a meeting and then they want to meet off campus, I'm like, let's go there.
Yeah, I like because like I still kind of stick to like Chinese cuisine, like over American cuisine. I kind of like prefer the Chinese one a little bit more. But yeah, like the ones that's really good. There's a lot actually around campus. Like if you go down Lemon Street, like there's like 2 to 3 Chinese restaurants. I think they're like top notch in like kind of Tempe area. It's also very
How
accessible.
authentic is it, according to you? Like,
Ooh, okay, that's a good question. That's a good question.
It might be a little controversial.
Yeah, no, this one was like the 3 here are pretty authentic. Like,
wow.
like, because I also like I'm friends with like the boss of like a few of them. And
so
they're,
do you
like,
think you're getting like a bit of an edge? They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, we know this kid, so we might as well. Like,
no, but like
Like a
like,
secret menu or
they
something.
did talk to me about like, yeah, like they do like a balance between like, yeah, like a lot of like people like domestic in the US, like they prefer like maybe orange chicken, like so like they will make a dish directly for like the US kind of popularity, and they also have like a menu, like kind of like I'd call it like a secret menu for like the Chinese.
oh wow.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's nice.
How about Indian food?
No, I've fairly have a decent amount of Indian food throughout the week, so I would
Yeah.
say
I think we have a lot of good restaurants.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have pretty good restaurants. I've personally not been to a Chinese restaurant yet.
Dang. I need to take you to.
My favorite restaurant in Tempe is actually a Chinese restaurant.
Really?
Oh, really?
It's the one next to the boba place I was talking about.
Okay.
So
okay.
I remember the name of that restaurant. It's called Old Town Taste.
Oh yeah, that
Okay.
was good.
I
That
love
was
that
good.
place. That's my favorite, and I've gone there so many times. The owner knows me now.
like,
Like I'm I think I'm one of the only non-Asian
Asian.
like I'm
Really?
the Indian guy who goes there. So every time he sees me, like, hey, how are you? And then I ordered the same thing because I'm vegetarian.
Yeah.
So I ordered the same thing, so he knows what I want. So
Yeah.
he just gets it.
yeah, that one's good. Like it's just like a little bit far, like
Yeah,
transportation.
transportation wise.
So yeah, but like right now, like when I got a car, like I can go whatever I want. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like once you have a car, it's just like
You
it's
like you,
freedom.
it's like more freedom. You don't have
Yeah.
like time.
But I don't think
Yeah.
it's necessary. Like we.
It's not
fine.
Yeah,
necessary.
it's
No,
not
no,
like a
no.
necessary.
So along with having all your interests, being a student, you also now have quote unquote, I guess, financial independence, right?
Mhm.
So like you earn money, you have to spend it. How do you manage that? How do you like make sure that you have enough money in case of an emergency, but at the same time make sure that you also spend a bit? How do you keep track?
So what I personally do is I keep a spreadsheet.
Mhm.
Initially, it was tough, if I'm being very honest. But as time went on, I got used to it.
Mhm.
I got used to spending the conversion
Mhm.
rate, which is initially really challenging.
Mhm.
Mm.
But yeah, so I keep a spreadsheet where I track all of my expenses. So if what I'm spending in a week or maybe in a day, and that really helps me figure out how much I'm spending in a month. So just to know, just to have a control over my finances.
Mhm,
So I'm
mhm.
not going.
I actually do the same thing. So every weekend I sit down, I look at my bank account
Statement. Yeah.
and then I just note down for each day.
Yeah.
So then I have two columns, like I have credit, like money spent and money earned,
Yeah.
and obviously the spent is more all the
Yeah.
time. Do not take financial advice from me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm a spender too. Like
Yeah.
I spend. Yeah. But like yeah, like I do budget for things. Like I can make sure that like okay, I still have money
Mhm.
even though like I'm gonna buy something crazy.
Mhm.
Right. Like but yeah, adding on to like the conversion rate part, I wasn't used to the conversion rate when I just came over too. Like I
It's
remember
tough, it's
I went to the campus store
Mhm.
and I just bought a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
I-
dang, this is only 500.
that was me. I never used the conversion rate, so I would never convert rupees and dollars.
Mhm.
I would just be like, you know what? I'm in a new country. Here $1 is like you get this much items. I knew that, so I was just like, I'm not converting it. Living here is a bit different, but I
Yeah.
think
It is,
it,
yeah.
it does take time to get used
It
to
does.
it for most.
So I think my first
Yeah.
income helped. So once you
Yeah.
earn in that same currency,
Yeah.
you get an idea of how
You
much
you
you're
kind of
spending.
get an idea on
Yeah.
like how hard
I
money
feel like I
is
should be
to
careful
earn.
what I say. My parents might watch this.
Oh.
Yeah,
Like,
very
be
careful with my
careful.
finances or
Yeah.
something.
My dad knows all. My dad knows everything,
Yeah.
so I'm
I
fine.
know I'm not hiding anything, but
Yeah.
like he'd be like, why can't you be more responsible?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, no, I think we're running a bit low on time.
Mhm.
So before we end things, do you have any like any tips, last minute tips, suggestions, or anything that you guys want to share before we say goodbye to everyone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say for international students, especially if it's your first year or first kind of semester coming over, no matter if, like for undergrad or grad student, like always be involved on campus.
Mhm.
Because like I believe that this is like the best way to kind of socialize and also like build your connections within kind of campus itself. Like I came here with 0 connections. I have like more than 1,500 right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, it's like I didn't have to like kind of go out like find people on like LinkedIn or like on Instagram. Like I just kind of socialize around.
Yeah, I mean,
That-
I had a professor who's told me that college is not just education.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
about
it's much
the
more.
network.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
about the people that you meet. That's more important than whatever GPA you
Yeah.
might get.
Mhm.
GPA matters.
It matters,
Yeah,
but-
it matters.
yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah,
matters
like-
for sure. Yeah,
Mm.
and adding on to what he said, yeah, using the resources here at ASU, making full use of them, I feel like you'll get the best college experience.
Mhm.
And yeah, socializing is important, and of course, getting good grades. It's important no matter who tells you what. Make sure
I
you're
feel like he's attacking me.
yeah, make sure you're focusing on your studying, and
Mm.
yes, just have a balanced lifestyle, and you'll do good.
Mhm.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you
thank
so
you
much
so
for
much.
inviting.
And
Yeah.
for the viewers, we'll see you again soon.
Mm.